I think it's that my advice is, from my perspective, there's always that sense of, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know my business. I don't need someone else to tell me about my business. But actually, it's not about the stuff that you know about, it's what you don't know about. And so actually engaging with someone to fill all of those gaps, that's what it's all about. So the business was probably about 6 years old, and we'd been building and building and building, and then it sort of started to plateau. And that was the point at which I had already been contacted by Jeremy's contact lady, and it seemed like a good opportunity to take a step back and say, yeah, I could do with some help. So that's how we started. So I had a one introduction sort of session with Jeremy, and we went through and it just was quite clear that there were so many opportunities. And yeah, clearly Jeremy knew what he was talking about, and so good. I just felt that I could actually do with his help. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I see as a continuous kind of keep looking ahead, keep setting goals, keep setting targets, looking at where you're trying to head to. That's something that I sort of see constantly being kind of reminded of. I say this to a lot of people. I think it's a bit like having a personal trainer, in that it's very easy to sort of slip and start off with good intentions, and then it sort of slides. And so to have someone that keeps kind of calling you out and saying, well, have you done this? Have you done this? Where are you? It just gives you someone to answer to, and it just keeps you kind of driving forward, I think. But the massive one for me personally is the change over the last 12 months of not doing everything and working, as they say, in the business, and being able to actually take so much more time working on the business, looking in. That's the key thing for me. It's just transformed my role, and yet nothing has all kind of fallen apart. Everything has actually carried on improving, even with me doing less of all the sort of the running around and doing all the hands-on stuff. I've kind of keep passing that along. That's the massive difference that I've seen. Obviously, we've turned around from previous years, and I kind of feel that we're in a better position to sort of, there's sort of that notion of kind of getting all the base stuff in position to kind of really ramp up, and I feel that we're at that point where we're starting to ramp up significantly. Well, my wife notices, because I'm not working every evening, you know. We have time in the evenings where I'm sort of spending time with her rather than just on my laptop, you know. I think that's a massive difference. I would say one of the biggest things is that realization of how much you don't know. So I came from a corporate background, you know, worked for small, big companies, and, you know, I'm core an engineer. But, you know, thought I knew about marketing, sales, finance, etc. Realization of actually how little I do know. And I think that's been one of the things is over the last sort of 12 months, just learning so much learning. And it kind of drives me on to even kind of learn more, actually. And I've said this to Jeremy before, it's kind of, well, what opens your eyes is kind of like how much more we could be doing. That says to me, well, the possibilities are just phenomenal, yeah.